Hello guys, let's go over the clavicle and neck rig real quick. Most of the things is something you already done before, so it's gonna be more like a review to you. Let's go start with creating a very simple circle here, and then let's duplicate it, rotate it on the Z direction 90 degrees, Control D to duplicate it again. Oops, I think I rotate more than 90 degrees. So let me go back and okay, that's 90 degrees. Duplicate this one and holding down J button, let's rotate it to another direction 90 degrees. Okay, now I need another nervous curve, so let's go to create curve 2, CV curve 2. Okay, and then in the settings make sure you have one linear, and let's holding down X to click on the far end of this sphere like shape, and then to somewhere else, maybe there. Okay, now we have the basic shape I want for the clavicle controller, but now they are separated, so I need to actually combine them together. I need to select them first and then do a freeze transformation first, and then I need to go to display and check the shapes. No. Stock the outliner here. I need to go to display and check shapes. When that is on, you can actually open the nervous and see their shapes. Okay, now select the last one's shape, and then the one before the last one, and then the one before the last one. Those three, select their shapes, and then select the first one's translation. Okay, notice that they're different things. The first three are shape, the last one will be a translation node. Now let's type in parent dash add dash shape in the mail command, and then that way we're actually duplicate those three shape node and parent the duplication to the first one's translation node. Now if you select the first one, you can see now they're all combined together, and then I don't need those other ones anymore, so let's delete those. Go to display, uncheck shapes. Now this one behaves just like one piece of object. Cool. Now let's go to the chest area. I want to see the joints, so I'm gonna go there and find the joint group and unhead it. And then I'm gonna match this controller to the clavicle joint. Before I do that, I may want to rename it AC left clavicle, and then group it. Let's call this one AC left clavicle group. Now select this group and then the joint. Let's go do a modify match transformation, match all transforms to move the controller there. It's actually inside the body now, like that. I'm gonna grab all the vertex and then drag them out. Okay, so that is the clavicle controller. Now let's apply a IK on this single chain here. Let's go to rigging, skeleton, and then create IK handle, and then let's use single chain stopper, and then click on the clavicle joint and then the end joint to finish the IK handle. Now let's name this IK handle left clavicle. Okay, now parent this IK handle to the clavicle controller we just created. Now if you drag the controller up, you can control it to go up, or you can rotate it either way you want. Cool. Now there's one controller here. Let's duplicate this one, and then shift select the other side, and then match transformation. And let's rename this one AC right clavicle GRP, and also rename the controller itself, so AC right clavicle. Notice that it's flipping back. It's very easy to fix. All we have to do is grab all the vertex, and then holding D and V to move the pivot there, and then let's rotate it to move it to the front. No big deal. Okay. Oops, I wrote it too much. Cool. Now let's see what we can do with those tools. First, we can just drag them up. Oops, I haven't done the IK handle yet. Let's do that real quick. I need a single chain IK there, and this IK will be called IK handle right clavicle. And then let's delete the original one, duplicate it from the other side. Let's parent its new one to the right clavicle controller. Now we have those two here, and we can drag them up, or we can rotate them like this. Cool. So that's the clavicle control. Let's move on to the neck. For the neck, first I want to break out this joint chain. Let's go span it and duplicate it. Delete all the children of the new duplicated one. Let's make this one bigger so it's easier to see. Okay. Now let's select the original one and just shift P to unparent it. Now we have break the joint from the chest control, the chest joint here. Now let's do the same thing for the head. Select the head, duplicate it, delete all the children of the new duplicated one. And then for the new duplicated one, let's rename it band neck, and let's just name it JT and neck, and then unparent the head joint here. Let's call this one, let's see, let's just call this one JT band head. Oops. Now the head is also separated. The joint chain in the middle, the neck one, will also be separated. Okay. Now one more thing I forgot to rename will be the JT band neck 06. We just duplicated from the original neck band joint. Let's name this one JT band this is actually a end joint. Let's see. Oh, you know what? There's something I did wrong here. This new duplicated one will be the actually start joint of the neck joint chain. So that's parent the band neck 02 to this one. Oops, not that. Select the band 02 first, and then the new one will duplicate it from the original neck band joint. Let's parent the 02 to this new one. Okay. And then let's select the original one. The original one will be parented back to the chest. The new one will actually behave like the new joint chain, the separated joint chain of the neck. Okay, be aware of that. The purpose here is that the separated joint chain here for the neck will have two new joints inside of it, which is the new duplicated band joint here, and then the new duplicated band joint here. Those two joints, they have no weighting on the skin. If you select the bottom one and holding down D and move it, you see it does nothing. And the last one also does nothing too. This way, when we do the IK spline, those two, when they move, it does not affect the skin, and because they are very unstable actually on the IK. And then we make the original band joint connected to the chest. Here we make the original band joint as the head joint for the head joint chain. Okay, just be aware of that. Now let's go on and then name this one JT start neck. See that start and end neck, those two, they don't have band in their naming. That means they have no weighting on the skin. Okay. Let's select the neck and make the necks let's select the head and make the head radius bigger so it's easier to differentiate. Cool. Now let's do the IK spline. Isolate this new neck joint chain. Let's go to skeleton and then create IK spline handle, and then let's use the default setting, go click the first join and then the last. That will create a IK handle for us. Let's call this IK handle neck IK spline. Let's call this curve CRV. Let's see, this is neck IK spline. Now let's grab this curve. If we move this curve, it's going to control the neck, just how we have on the span. So to actually make this curve to be controlled, I need to grab those top two vertex and then do deform cluster. Okay, and then the bottom two vertex will be controlled by another cluster. Let me rename those two clusters. This one will be called cluster neck top. This one will be called cluster neck bottom. Oops, some typo issue here. Bottom. Okay. Now let's create controllers to control those two clusters. Go create a very simple circle here, and then let's just name it AC neck 01. Duplicate it, AC neck 02. Duplicate it, AC neck 03. Now let's group them. Also rename them. Oh, you know what? Let's just use this one. When we match it, then we can just duplicate this one instead. Okay, let's select this group of the neck controller, and then holding down Shift and then select the start joint of the neck. Let's do a match transformation to move the controller there. Now the controller will be really small. I need to scale it up and also rotate it. Just be aware that I'm using the vertex instead of moving the controller itself, because I need that orientation to be aligned with the joint there. Okay, cool. So that's one of the neck controllers. Select that and duplicate it. And then let's select the head joint here, do a match transformation. And then for that one, let's just tweak its shape. Okay, let's name this one AC neck 03. I believe that's how I named them in class, or you can name it AC head 2 if you want it. I think it's kind of like behaves like the entire head controller later on anyways. Okay, now we need some controller in the middle too, so duplicate the AC neck 01, Control D to duplicate it, and then let's change the axis to object, and then just drag this new one up. Somewhere in the middle should be fun. Let's call this one AC neck 02. Okay, now we have those three controllers. Let's parent 03 to 02, the group. Okay, parent the group of the AC controller neck 03 to the controller of AC neck 02, and then AC neck 02's group will be parented underneath the AC neck 01 controller. Cool. Now this hierarchy is finished. All we have to do is parent the cluster to those controllers. The AC neck top cluster, the cluster neck top will be parented to the AC neck 03, and then the cluster neck bottom will be parented to the bottom controller, of course. Now we can use the controller to control the rotation of the neck. Okay, Now let's organize the hierarchy a little bit. Now we have a couple of things created. Let's take a look. We have the two clavicle controllers. For those to be organized, all we have to do is parent those two groups to the chest controller. Okay, now that makes them follow the chest. Cool. Let's see. After that, we also have the AC neck controllers group, the neck joint group, and then those two IK system. Let's select those two IK system, the IK handle and then the IK curve. Let's group them together. Let's call this other element. Neck GRP. Oops. Neck GRP. And then we have the joint group for the neck 2. Let's group this one and call it JT and neck GRP. That's the joint group. So now we have the next animation curve group, the joint group, and then the other elements group. Let's group them all together. Let's call this one neck rig. Okay, this group have all the rigging elements of the neck. Let's drag it back to the AC master mover. Okay. Okay, everything works. Now I need to make it follow the chest. To do so, let's select the chest controller, and then let's do a parent constraint on the group of the controller of the neck. That one. So constraint, parent constraint. Again, the chest controller first, and then the group of the AC neck 01 GRP. This one. Do a parent constraint. Now that makes the neck follow. Now all the rest is the head. To make the head follow, we have this joint here, right? Let's select this joint and then let's group it. Let's call this one joint head GRP. Oops, GRP. Now this one will be also underneath the AC master mover, and then let's use the chest. Oh, sorry, the last neck controller to do a parent constraint on the group of the joint of the head. So constraint, parent constraint. Now if I move it, it will follow me like that. Simple enough, right? And that's the entire setup. We don't have stretching yet here, so if you wanted to, you can do that. You can follow the tutorial we did on the span 2 if you wanted, but I think there's really no difference between those two, so I'm not gonna go over that. One more thing you may want to do though is clean things up. First, I don't want to see the joints, so let's go grab the joint group of the torso. Let's add it, and also grab the joint group of the neck. Let's also add it, and also let's grab the head joint group and add it too. Just to clean things up for those two C's, let's grab that one, and then that one. Oops. Oh. Let's add the other elements for the neck too, and then I need to add those two clusters, and maybe those two IK handle too. Let's see, those two IK handle, add them. Now we have cleaned up the hierarchy. Cool. Let's just test if everything works. The chest will control everything, right? And then the clavicle, those two clavicle, we can use move. Oops, go to what mode? Use move or rotate. Mostly, I think rotation is better because the movement they're going different directions. And then the neck controller works. We have 3 different controllers to control the curvature of the neck. Just like the things we have on the torso. Now, next class I will go over the basic controls on the hat. We will go over maybe the eye, and then the jaw, and maybe also the tongue. Okay, cool. And that's for today's tutorial.